the relationship, bit by bit, begins to disintegrate. That's just how it works. And this disintegration is described in psychological terms under the narcissism banner as this devalue, a devalue stage, bit by bit, like when you buy a new car. The devalue phase of the situation kicks in, and unfortunately, be it the person who doesn't see their partner as a shiny new toy anymore, as that person starts to disintegrate, that's going to bring the devalue situation. Now, this can happen for many different reasons. Just out of example, it can be because somebody's not getting enough intimacy. On the other, it can be because somebody's getting too much, one or the other. Either way, it's going to end in a situation where there's a devaluation. And what I've found in my life, I'm nearly 60 now, what I've found is that compatibility is everything. And I learned this many years ago. When you listen to a lot of these narcissism-based podcasts, you'll hear the shiny new toy example. You meet somebody, they've got a shiny new toy, you've got a shiny new toy, which to me says that they're running on their lust. They like the person, what they see, they want the person, they get their fill, their lust is fulfilled, and those desires wane. They wane because it was built on lust, fulfilling lust, and lust deceives. So as the Bible says, these people, what are described in psychological terms as narcissists, have been deceived by lust. Now, narcissism's a word that sort of makes you think, well, that person must be cruel and nasty. But no, that's not necessarily so. I've been in a relationship with a woman over the last 18 months, and I wouldn't say she was affectionate, but she did run her course with the intimacy, but I could see that she was declining in her contribution across the board. Her focus changed. She wasn't the same person as she was when she first came along. She began to deplete. She began to covertly devalue the values that she founded herself on. That's how narcissism works. You'll get micro-incremental devaluations that you need to adapt to or be conditioned to. But that may go against who you are, and this is where the mental health issues come in. For instance, if you're a mature, sensible, wise person, which you should be by the age of 30, 40, 50, 60, you should know exactly where you're headed. And you go rushing into somewhere where angels fear to tread, and you know it's really not your place, but you act as if it is, or you are deceived by lust as if it is, then you're going to break down, because it's not really where you are supposed to be. The sad part about this is It's for the people that have come along and they're running regulated. They're just in a regulated state. They're continuing in that state, and the next thing they got somebody that's breaking down. That's apparently what narcissism is. And so in my last episode I just said I can't go any slower than what I am, that the objective being less intimacy. And I said, no, look, I'm sorry, I can't go any less than what I already am, because there'll be nothing left in terms of keeping myself my masculinity healthy. The problem wasn't that I was doing more or wanting more. The situation was that this woman had caught up to herself, she'd been filled, and wanted to put the brakes on. And I said, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen, because I'm the same person that you met. I'm doing the same things that we have done since we met, because I'd seen all this before, and I'm not prepared to be any less of a man than I already am, and you're not going to make that happen. We're not compatible. Now, a lot of these people think they know you almost instantly, but I always say we don't know each other yet. It's going to take time, and a lot of people don't understand that these things take time. So that's a point of knowing that in the dimension of intimacy we weren't compatible. I have had women that want more. I've had women that want less. I've had women that have adapted. I thought this lady did very well, considering the life that she came from into my life, which is fully focused on relationship and intimacy and stuff. I thought she did very well, but she hit the wall. And if you go by the narcissism script, which sounds really bad, love bomb, devalue, reverse discard, whatever that ends up as, this was, from what I saw, the perfect narcissistic episode. Come through the door, cooking, cleaning, running around, doing everything, and I'm watching it and I'm going, this won't last. In the cot, lapping it all up. Then you start to watch the disintegration, and eventually the person hits the wall. That's just how it works. That's not your problem, that's theirs. If you have culturalized yourself to be attentive, to be transparent, to be affectionate, to not smother, and the other person can't handle it, that's on them, not on you. Particularly if you haven't had a mask on. Because when the mask comes off and everybody's supposed to, and I don't go along with this, everybody's supposed to adapt to the weaker, what turns out to be the weaker of the two, not the badder, just the weaker in whatever areas where it's uncompatible. That's where the line's drawn, but a lot of people just stay in. They just stay in the situation and things go bad. So what we all need to realise is it's not about good and bad people, because, and this has been a wonderful revelation for me, I've met wonderful people, beautiful women that have come into my life and lapped up the first 12 months and 18 months and then realised this guy is what he is. He turns up, he shows up. He's 60-year-old. He's Intimacy doesn't change. I work in with them, but once they hit the wall, it's time for them to go. And that's on them, it's not on me, because I've trained myself to be strong. It's not easy being a fully functioning masculine male at the age of 60. It's not easy. And if you want to jeopardize the health and the measures that are required to be that, to suit somebody that's hit the wall, you're going to be playing a dangerous game at that age, because once you start to decline in older age, you'll be very lucky to claw your way back, particularly intimately, relative to the way your sexuality works or doesn't work. And mine works very well, and I'm not going to risk making myself weaker to suit women that get their fill and then try and condition you to what can I say, working around their change. And it works for the young and the old. The age part of it is irrelevant. There's no age barriers related to it. So I hope this helps. Don't lose your strength, be it male or female. If you've been healthy and consistent, to somebody that's hit the wall, they're not psychologically able or spiritually or physically able to carry on at the pace in which they presented themselves. Fortunately, it's just the way life is now. It's the way that it works. And it's not your job to entertain these people when they start to go down the tubes, because that's what's going to signal to you, I need to do more to keep this person happy. And more could be less. Depends what direction you're being asked to go in. You just got to remain yourself, and if it turns out you're not compatible, that's just the way it is. It's not the end of the world. You move on, you leave that person alone, let them get on with their life, and never go back.